Okay, so today is December the 21st, and the topic of today's reading from the book Affirmations for the Inner Child by Raquel Lerner is balance. I can be powerful and have needs. Today I will walk the fine line between being powerful and having needs. My wounded inner child wants to take refuge either in the rigid role of the tough guy who needs no one, or in the dependent role of the powerless victim. Today I will love the frightened little one within him and reassure him that his needs will be met. Today, though, it may be uncomfortable. I will hold both feelings in equilibrium. I am a powerful person full of ability and potential, but I am also a person with needs. Today, without becoming dependent, I will be open to the ways in which others may be able to help me meet my needs. Likewise, I will hold on to my personal power without becoming unapproachable. And well, yes, that is the reading of today, which well, it can be a little bit complicated because balance is always a difficult thing, right? It's always a difficult thing to achieve. In life, there is always, yes, a dichotomy, right? There is always two different extremes, right? We have a positive and a negative, we have good and evil, we have man and a woman, etc. And trying to balance them off, it can be complicated, right? Because they typically don't, we have light and darkness, right? They typically don't interact very well, right? Because we tend to think that opposites are like that. But in nature, there's a rule of thumb that says that opposites attract themselves, right? That is why, for example, a positive pole or a positive energy attracts to a negative energy, right? So that they can balance themselves out. And in nature, finding that balance is really easy, right? For example, when light and dark, right? We have touched the topic that people tend to think that light and dark are very different things, and they tend to hate darkness because they deem darkness as dangerous, while light is safer. When in reality, both extremes are bad, because for the human being, both light and darkness are blinding. We only can see in light because our physiognomy allows us to have certain amount of shadow that allows our eyes to see, right? And that shadow in our eyes is what allows us to see, right? The balance, the right balance, we have the right balance of shadow and darkness. But if we get struck by a full light in front of us, we get blind, as much as we are blind when there's full darkness. So both are the same. Extremes are also the same. So in this case, in the topic of the reading, when they say that they put it into contrast two different extremes, right? Being powerful and being too needy. The truth is that in society, well, at least in my perspective or what I have understood, right, is that needy people are they don't people don't like needy people, right? I mean, when you are too needy all the time, especially when you're an adult, perhaps if you're a child, well, good, but if you're an adult, being needy, extremely needy, that is something that, well, I don't know, I don't think personally that's attractive, or in any case, a part of a mature person, right? On the other hand, being tough, right, or being all powerful and having no needs at all, well, that might seem like something that well you people should strive for, right? People should look for being completely independent, right? Or at least as most independent as one can be. But then The truth is also that society doesn't work that way either, right? I mean, society is built so that we could, right, interact with each other, and well, those interactions come from the fact that we cannot achieve that complete, complete state of powerfulness in which we can say, well, we can survive by ourselves completely, right? And well, given that perspective, one has to learn to, well, understand that there's also power in understanding the fact that we need help, right? And we can ask for help. And that we can say, well, there are times in which we can say, well, I would like some help, right? The problem is that sometimes, at least in my perspective, what my experience has been with needing person, right? Needing people, or needing help from people. You can have two cases, right, in which people say either when you ask for help, people don't actually respond to your cries of help, right? Or they typically don't help you out at all, right? And they create more problems in your life. That is my experience, right? Again, perhaps for some people they would say, "No, but I can get help from people easily." That is not my life experience. I don't know how to do that. I have to admit it. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to ask for help and receiving the help that I need. Typically, most people, what I found is that, and even there's also a third case in which, typically, when I ask for help and I do and I do receive whatever it is that I wanted, I have the feeling that people didn't really want to do it, right? Like they do it just because, not with the ease of somebody that is doing it, right? Just to help. No, they do it like with a certain amount of uneasiness, of right, of the feeling of botherness of having to do something for someone else. So that's where the problem comes from. That people don't like to help either, right? And it's difficult for someone to just help without asking for something in, in, in return. And in the end, and especially for example when it comes to work, right, where people are supposed to do their jobs, and people ask them for something, right, that is something that one requires, which can be categorized as asking for help, people don't do it, right? People don't respond efficiently like they were supposed to do, right? So that's complicated, right? It's a complicated fact. Perhaps that's something that I need to do and need to work on how to ask for help. I don't know how much I would say that people really do get or have the ability to ask for help easily and actually get the response they were expecting from that person, right? I don't know how much people can actually say, well, I can do that. I don't know too many people, or at least I cannot say that I know too many people that actually do ask for help and receive what they wanted for, or what they were expecting for. I cannot say that I know that society because not even, for example, when you are in a store or when you go to a store, not all the time you receive the attention that you wanted, right? Okay, and again, it happens when you are in your work and ask for people for help. When you go to a store where you're supposed to get help, people don't get you the help that they wanted. And that's also one of the parts that why people say, well, I don't trust people or I don't like people. I've met many people that say at the end they are adult people, people older than me, but they end up saying I don't like people because at the end they get disappointed so many times in the part that whenever they ask for help or whenever they ask something, they don't receive whatever it is that they wanted. both because people don't like to help others, and that is difficult. I mean, that's why in the end, society, well, the way society is built, you you individually you end up saying, well, I just don't want to help people and do that for other people, and that's how it works. So, well, basically that's the reading of today. One needs to know how to define that balance. That balance is very difficult to find, but again, we should do it, right? We should do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know in what circumstances that balance can be achieved, but that balance perhaps is a homework for someone like me in that case, right? How to be needy and be powerful at the same time. Nature can do it. Nature can balance positives and negatives or find similarities between opposites like light and darkness. But in any case, well, that is one's homework, right? How to achieve that balance between being tough and being needy or having needs. If you like the reading, give it a thumbs up, leave any comments below, subscribe to the channel, share it to social media, and as always, if Providence allows it, we will meet each other in a different day.